Hey, in today's video, I am going to talk about the biggest thing that holds us back from stepping into our new chapter. So if we haven't met, hi, I'm Lindsay and I help midlifers to build their next chapter and find more meaning and purpose in their life. So what's the biggest thing that holds us back? The biggest thing that holds us back from finding our new purpose and stepping into that new chapter is actually having to figure it all out and thinking that we need to have it all figured out. Because you know what? You can't. So that's the thing that I hear all the time, and it has stopped me in my tracks, is when you think, well, when I know that detail, then I'll be able to take the next step. Or when I have that bit figured out, I'll need to know the next step. So if it's like, for example, just starting a business, because that's been really blowing up on social media last year about, getting into reselling digital courses. Or even if you want to go out there as a practitioner and you want to start your own business, the biggest issue is when people try and figure out the next step. So, for example, you're talking about, but I don't know how to describe what I do. I don't know my branding. I haven't got a business name. I haven't got a website. All of these things. You don't need all of those things. What you need to do is to create awareness and connect with people about what you do and how you can help them. And that's obviously if you're going down the business route. If you're going on like a personal journey, so it might just be like a weight loss journey, you can't imagine all of your progress, which is why it's really beneficial like to join a gym or to, work with a personal trainer or something, because they know what your journey might look like and they know what goals you need to, sort of the milestones you need to go through in order to get to that final goal. You don't, because if you knew them, you'd have already done it. So, and I've been stopped in my tracks, as I said, by doing this. And it's absolutely paralyzing. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. So I completely empathize with you if you're in this space of thinking, right, well, in theory, I'm going to make a plan, I'm going to make a list, I'm going to start my Instagram, I'm going to start my YouTube, and I'm going to start my podcast, whatever it is, or I'm going to get to the gym. You cannot figure it all out, because unless you can absolutely see into the future, and even though I'm a bit out there in the woo-woo, I do not have a crystal ball and I cannot tell you the future. And guess what? Chances are you can't either. But that's okay, because that's not what you want to take. So I've just recently been through this mastermind group that I was in. And there was, along with another 30,000 people in this group, right? It was a big deal. Anyway, of course, there's loads of chat in the group and in the Facebook group and all the rest of it. And the biggest, most frequently asked question is trying to figure out your next detail. And the best advice that they actually gave me, which is why I'm making this video again, because I retreated for some months while I went into the headspace of, but what's my next step? Even though I know better, I know so much better than to do that, but it's seductive. It really is, because it means you don't need to get out there. You don't need to risk failing. You don't need to, risk failing, as I say, same thing. If you say, right, I'm going on a weight loss goal, I'm going to the gym, there is a chance that you're not going to keep it up past the next week. But if you're thinking about that already, that's not going to help you. So, for example, the question that came up in this group all the time was, will I feel different when I have that one thing figured out? And the answer that kept coming through is, you will evolve as you go. That's the answer. That's like, the holy grail of personal development is you do not need to have it all figured out before you go. You will evolve along the way. And it used to be like in the world of bro marketing, if you know what that is. I don't know. It's, when all the guys were saying, look, I just got a Lamborghini and look at me, I'm so, la-di-da. And basically the whole bro marketing thing was build the wings as you're flying. As in, you do not need to have the whole course built before you start to talk about it to people. And the same thing, you don't need to have lost all the weight before you start your weight loss goal. Oh my God, that's genius. Love that analogy. So I hope you love that analogy too. But same thing when you're a parent, because if you're in this group, chances are, and if you're watching this, chances are you are going to be a parent, probably a mum. You didn't know how your child was going to turn out. You might have had goals, but you didn't know how your child was going to turn out. So when they were a baby, did you know what they'd be like when they were 2? No, of course you didn't. When they were 2, did you know what they were like when they were 5? No. But it didn't stop you doing anything with them, did it? So you've got to just like suck that energy back in for yourself and do the same thing. Just know that each day you take action to whatever your goal is, each day you take action is going to get you a step further. And when you get a step further forward, you get a different perspective. And when you get a different perspective, you can make a new decision. And that new decision is the way that you're actually going to make changes in your life and build this new chapter. So I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, drop them below. I'm not going to make this video long because that's not the nature of where we're going right now. But just like you, I thought I had it all planned out. And if you haven't checked out the podcast, please check out the podcast Midlife Freedom, because the podcast also is one of those things that it was a passion project when I started. And what are we, how many episodes later? I think 80 episodes later, it's evolved. It started off as a different name. It evolved over time, and it's still evolving now. It started off as just audio. It's now video. So we're all having to pull our energy back into our projects so that we can move forward. So I encourage you to do the same. But if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. And if you haven't got questions, just put a thumbs up, put a like in there, subscribe if you think this is going to be of interest for you. And I will see you in the next video.